Hi guys, welcome back. Well, I've had two or three new arrivals this week. I thought I'd show you first of all. First up, I managed to get a BT40 taper that accepts number 2 Morse. That was about the only configuration I was missing. I've been gradually changing over from the international 40 tapers that had the 5/8 drawbar onto the 16mm, and the easiest way is to get a BT40 taper that has the pull stud on. It's just a 16mm thread to undo to take the pull stud off, and then that will go straight into my machine then. The BT40 tapers have the 2 recesses on that go straight into the milling machine. If you buy the SK40s, which I got a job lot a few months ago, one of the cutouts isn't quite as deep, so it's not a direct fit. And what I've been doing, I've just been grinding that section out so it matches the opposite side, and then it will fit into the spindle on the milling machine. So I think now I've got the number 2 Morse, I think I'm pretty much good with what I'm likely ever to use. So that was the first thing. 20 quid on eBay. I don't think it's ever been used. Looking at it, there was no pull stud with it, that had already been taken out, but looking at it, I don't think that's ever been used. So that was 20 quid. Off Amazon, I picked up another 8-inch CBN grinding wheel. I'd already got one of these that I'd bought from Axminster Tools. This one's off Amazon, and the intention is I'm going to use this with the drill grinding machine that I've been building. I won't need to dress the wheel on it, so that's a bonus. I bought this one because I don't think this section is quite as wide, so I thought that might reduce some of the weight. It's 1 inch width, so that should be okay for grinding the Morse taper drills, the larger ones. But as I say, I went for this one because I don't think this section is quite as wide, and therefore I thought it might be a bit lighter, but taking it out of the box there's still some weight with it. But I've got a few ideas to do with this, which I'll go into a bit later on. This is a 5/8 centre, which it's a direct fit onto the Black & Decker grinder that I've been using, so that's a direct fit. So I'm going to mount this up. I've taken the drill grinder apart. I'm going to mount this onto the Black & Decker and see how it runs on that, and see how long it takes to come to a stop once I've switched the electric off. So I'll mount that up first, and then I've got a couple of other things I want to show you. Well, up to now I've been using this Whitestone. I think it's an inch and a quarter centre hole, and I've got some reducers on that take it down to the 5/8, and I've been using that. The only difference I can see between mounting this and mounting the CBN wheel, because this is a flat surface, that makes up nice and snugly with this. I don't know how to describe that. Is it a spacer or a flange? But there's a gasket on it, and that mounts up nice and smoothly and solidly onto the grinding wheel because of the flat surface. But on the CBN ones, you've got this raised section, so once it's mounted, it's only contacting on this centre section, and not on the full surface of this flange. So I have been thinking about making a additional spacer on that to bring it out to this surface, that diameter, and then I get a full contact on the wheel, which I think will be a better setup. But it fits on nice and snugly. I've not had to do any machining on the wheel itself yet, so it fits on nice and snugly. But when you put the second flange on, again it's only contacted on this centre section. So I think 2 large washers or something I may have to make up from scratch. But that fits on. I can never remember which way the thread goes on these grinders. I think this is standard right hand thread on this side. But yeah, you can see there's probably a 1/4 of an inch gap between the wheel and the flange. But I'll connect this up and see how she runs. Well guys, from switching the electric off, that's taken 4 minutes to come to a stop. I've had some experience with the original wheel that I'd purchased, so I know they take a lot longer than the standard grinding wheels. But yeah, 4 minutes to come to a standstill there. Well, I had a bit of side to side wobble on that, not too much. The face of it seemed to run through, but I had a bit of side to side wobble, and I'm going to put that down to that centre piece which is raised and not getting the full contact onto the 2 flanges either side. So I think I'm going to make a spacer to bring it up to that diameter. It shouldn't be too difficult to do that. Now I have been thinking about reducing the weight of this by drilling some equally spaced holes in the centre of it. I don't know why they come without the holes in to make it slightly lighter. Whether it just add to the cost, the extra machining or not, I don't know. But the one that I got from Axminster was a solid piece like this. So I've been toying with the idea of mounting this onto my indexing head and drilling maybe 6 equally spaced holes, maybe in the centre of this, just to try and reduce the weight, so the wheel will come to a stop a lot quicker. I don't know if you guys can think of any reason why I shouldn't do that. Um, I have got a couple of weeks ago I picked up a Jones & Shipman wheel balancer that I've been give it a clean and coat of paint, so I have got that. But I think before I do anything else, I'll mount this on the wheel balancer and just see how accurately balanced it is as it is. Let me make some space. Well, a couple of days ago I bought 3 wheel balancing arbors off eBay. They're adjustable, so it's going to be probably 2 or 3 days before those arrive. So in the meantime, this is about the only thing that I've got to mount the wheel on. It's slightly on the wide side, but as a first go, it might be interesting. I've got the balancer levelled up on the bed, so dropping that lever arm drops these 2 side arms down, and then you're just left with a knife edge. So let's sort of see. Right, it's on the knife edge now, so no initial movement there. Well, it seems pretty good, guys. I know this isn't the ideal arbor for it, but as a rough test, it doesn't seem too bad. Excuse me. Now, if I do drill some holes in this, at least when those arbors arrive, at least I've got a means of rebalancing the wheel. So as I say, I don't think there's any reason why I shouldn't do that. I'm presuming this isn't hardened material. Can't see why it would be, but yeah, we'll see. Well, this little beauty arrived yesterday. It's again off eBay. It's a Brook Crompton motor, which you don't get much better than those. And attached to it is this, what I'm presuming is a pump. It's foot mounted, but there's also a flange on with 4 bolts through that this pump is fitted to, and I have made a start stripping it down just to see what's inside this. My idea behind this, if you look at the grinding motor that's on the Brearley grinders, there's an extended shaft that the grinding wheel sits on, and I would like to copy that. This is a 3-phase, so I can, and it's a dual voltage, so I can make use of this. And I was just thinking I'd like to mimic the design of the original Brearley. Now, with having this pump on, and the flange mount, I can more or less copy the original design of that brealer motor. I've made a start stripping this down just to see what the innards are like. I think it's covered in oil. This section's covered in oil, so I don't think it's a water pump. I think it has been for pumping oil around. But looking at it, I don't think this has ever been used. It's probably been filled up originally with oil to test it, and the plug is still in. But looking at the body, I don't think this has ever been used. I've not tried wiring it up yet, so I don't even know if the thing works, but can't see any reason why it wouldn't do. So let's see if I can strip this down. That's looking promising. There we go. Now, there's a bearing in this section, and it's got a keyway in it, keyway slot on the shaft. Not sure what diameter that shaft is. These are 5/8, so yeah, it's a 5/8 shaft. I'll show you a picture of the original brealer motor, and you can get, it'll explain better than I can what my intentions are with it. Couple of filters. Now I've no idea what age this is, but the just 4 cap screws holding this top section onto the flange, and trying an Allen key on it. It is imperial, so there might be some age to it. I'm just going to undo these two and see where that leads us. Yeah, that centrepiece isn't a bearing, it's just an oil seal. It's just an oil seal, that, and it's a very light oil that's been in it. So I don't know, guys, if you've got experience of these, you might be able to tell me what it was originally intended for. But no, now that's off, let me just try and explain what I intend doing. Let me just move the camera over. Well, if I extend this shaft, the sleeve on there, and extend that shaft, I can then remount, with this having the flange on, I can then remount this original piece into it. So the shaft is coming out of the centre there. And then machine a piece that will bolt onto these 4 bolt holes on this flange, and in the centre of it mount a bearing that will be the diameter of the shaft as that comes through, and then the grinding wheel then would be extended from the body, something along those lines. I don't think it needs to come out that far, but that was my intention, guys. So now I've stripped that down, I think the first job is to wire it up, make sure the thing's working, and extend this centre shaft with spindle, and then see what I've got lying around. I don't know if I can remachine this piece, because the holes mate up with that, so I could machine the centre of that out. But no, that's going to be a future project, guys. I'm going to mount my indexing head up, shift all the surface things that I don't need. That's a nice piece, it might come in handy for something later on. I'll mount the indexing head up, shift these off, and we'll mount the CBN wheel on and see if we can drill some holes into it. Well, there's the nameplate on the motor, Brook Crompton Parkinson Motors, Doncaster, serial number, and then it's got revs per minute 1425, volts 380 440, star, and then volts delta 220 250. So yeah, I don't think that's ever been used. Well, I've got the indexing head mounted onto the milling bed, and there's a slight chamfer on that raised section, but I think there's sufficient there for the 3 jaws to grip. So not quite sure what size holes to drill into this, but before I do, guys, if anybody watching can think of a reason why I shouldn't be drilling holes into this, if you could let me know in the comments. But that's my intention, maybe 6 equally spaced holes around the centre. Not sure what size to do, but I can't see any reason why not to drill holes in that. Possibly the only reason they don't do them like that from the manufacturer is to save cost. You've got the extra work involved. Right guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to leave it there. As I say, if you can think of any reason why I shouldn't be doing, please leave a comment. And I shall see you soon. Bye for now.